What is up, everybody? It is I, Ronin, and today I'm coming at you with a learning how to play for Meklords. So, if you don't know what Meklords are, they are a series of boss monsters more than an archetype. Well, I guess they're pretty much an archetype now. But basically, they were originally a series of boss monsters that were Meklord Emperor Weissel, Skeel, and Granel. All of them have various effects involving synchro monsters. And just because they are sort of the keystone of the deck, I actually would like to go over them first. So Weissel is the best one, but all of them do have two common effects. The first being that they can be special summoned from your hand whenever a monster you control is destroyed by card effect. The second being that once per turn, they are able to slurp up a synchro monster, equip it to themselves, and then gain that monster's attack points. Now, each of them can do several different things with synchro monsters, but we'll go in order from best to arguably worst? I don't know, it's kind of hard to choose between these two, but we'll start with Weissel. So its unique effect is that once per turn, during either player's turn, when your opponent activates a spell card, you can negate the activation and destroy it. So it is a negate for a spell, pretty cool. Skeel lets you detach the monster equipped to it in order for it to attack directly that turn. Granel is actually pretty unique. He's able to special summon to your side of the field any synchro monster he is equipped with, and his attack and defense are equal to half of your life points. So he can do some fun OTKs. I remember, like, way back when I just started playing the game, I did build, like, a Meklord thing, and I managed to get out Granel against the Nordics. Slurped up the 4K one and just attacked for a game. It was pretty funny. But, yeah, so they're the free boss monsters. Now we'll go over the sort of support for them, starting with the primary combo of the deck, which is Nucleus. So Meklord Nucleus Infinity Core is a level 1 Dark Machine, 0 attack and 0 defense. It has one sort of battle shield per turn, and whenever it's summoned, it has some other effects. So if it's normal or special, it lets you add a Meklord spell trap from your deck to your hand, and if it's destroyed by card effect, you can special summon a Meklord Emperor monster from your hand or deck with a different attribute from the monster you control, ignoring its summoning conditions. However, you are limited to one attack per that turn. So, yeah, pretty much you're able to get any of your Meklords out of the deck. They are highly searchable given what this searches. And yeah, it's just generally a great card, especially when you can summon it off of like 1-for-1. So, yeah, it's a free of. Now for the thing you're usually going to be searching, Meklord Assembly is a continuous spell card with several effects. The first is that when it is activated, you can add a Meklord monster from your deck to your hand. Then, as a hard once per turn, you can discard a card to target a monster you control and destroy it. And then, if a face-up Meklord monsters you control is destroyed by a battle or card effect, you can target another face-up spell trap on the field and destroy that. So it's removal. It gives you pops for the Meklord you are ideally going to be searching off of the Rhoda effect, so you could special summon it from hand. It gives you searches, as was described, and also it pops a Meklord for Nucleus's effect, so you can summon one from deck if you don't have one in hand and you really want one for some strange reason. I don't know why you want one, but I guess you do. As far as other targets go, though, for the sort of Nucleus search, we have Cruel Mercy of the Meklord Astro and Meklord Control. Let's go over Meklord Control first. It is a quick play spell that has a pretty simple effect. Lets you target a Meklord monster, and its attack becomes the original combined attack of all Meklords on the field. However, it can't deal battle damage this turn, and by banishing itself, it can protect a Meklord monster from being destroyed by battle or card effect. It's searchable, it's at 1, sometimes you want to beat over some big boys, so it's nice to have it. However, much better, Cruel Mercy of the Meklord Astro, a normal trap. It lets you target free Meklord monsters in your grave with different names upon activation to either add them to your hand or special summon them, ignoring their summoning conditions. And until the end of your next turn after this card resolves, you're locked into special summoning machine monsters. And if you control a Meklord Astro monster, You can banish it from your graveyard to target a synchro monster your opponent controls, non-targeting destroy it, and then you are able to burn your opponent for that monster's attack. So it's good recursion, good recovery, generally pretty good to run at 1 if you are sort of in a going first situation. And yeah, that's the basic combo. You summon Nucleus, get this, search whatever it is you want to summon, and from there just sort of pop and go off. Or just search whatever else you want. However, there are a few newer Meklord cards that lead to alternate routes of play, which we'll go over now. Starting with Meklord Astro Dragon Triskelion. It can't be normal summoned or set, and must be special summoned from the hand by banishing 3 differently named Meklord monsters from your grave. And once per turn, when it declares an attack, you get to look at your opponent's extra deck, equip it with a monster from there, it gains that monster's attack, and if that monster is a synchro monster, it is able to make free attacks per battle phase on monsters. So this is kinda your win condition. It's really good for removing cards from the extra deck and getting information on your opponent. And just as a aside, I love this card design because while it does work on everything, it works better if you're doing the sort of deck's preferred playstyle, which is hating on synchro monsters, so I really appreciate that. And the easy way to make Triskelion is Meklord Army Arsenal of Obligado. So it is a level 4 light machine, 1200 attack, 1800 defense, and during your main phase, you can activate a effect that will pop it, lock you into machines for the rest of the turn, and summon 2 Meklord Army monsters from your deck. And if this card is sent to the graveyard, it burns your opponent for 100 for each Meklord monster you control. However, that cannot be done in the same turn. You use the summoning effect, and that is why we're running 2 each of the Meklord armies. So, Army of Weissel gives something piercing, Army of Grinnell have something's attack on summon, and Army of Skeel, when it's destroyed by battle, you can summon another army from your deck. So, I don't know. They're mostly here as obligado fodder. I was tempted to run them at 1 each, but if you draw one, it kinda really screws you over, so kinda felt safer with 2 each. But yeah, let me explain the play. So all you need is obligado and a way to get to Astro Dragon, or if you already have Astro Dragon, you're good there. So you summon obligado, use its effect to pop, summon 2 different Meklord armies from your deck, whichever ones you prefer. You link those away into Barricade Borg Blocker or your Cleafort Genius. And then you have all the material needed in order to summon your Triskelion to the field without really going neg at all, which is pretty nice, actually. So yeah, you know, it's cool. It's cool going second combo, and honestly, a little bit better than like Nucleus try to go off most of the time. But yeah, so that's the monster line outside of also Ash. We have an Ash. Be aware of that. But yeah, let's go ahead and go over the rest of the deck, starting with the rest of our spell lineup. Already went over the purpose of 1-for-1. Lightning Storm, because this deck loves going second. Free Pot of Extravagance, because the only thing we ever really need the extra deck for is the Obligado combo or just making a Link Karibo. So as long as we're running those at free, I feel perfectly safe running free Extravagance, because more than likely we're not going to hit all 6 of our Link 2 targets. Monster Reborn, because it's a little more recursion, which is pretty nice. Call by the Grave, because this deck does rely a lot on searching. And our Infinite Impermanence, because it's another hand trap we can use. So that's the main deck. Like I said, the extra deck is pretty much pointless as long as you are running a sufficient amount of Link 2 machine monsters and Link Karibos. You're fine to really run whatever. The one thing I found to be a little bit cool was Gear Gigan X, because as an alternate to the Obligado play, you can Obligado into 2 level 4 machines in order to make a Gear Gigan X and search like a Meklord Emperor or a Nucleus Core or something like that. So that one's actually pretty cool. But beyond that, it's just sort of the Nightmare package and Link Karibos. Again, the effects are nice to have, but usually not necessary to have. Now for the side deck, though, it's pretty standard. We have 1 red reboot for the trap heavy matchup, 2 more Meklord controls in case we ever need to beat over something really big consistently, free twin twisters in case things are really looking rough and we need more spell trap removal, free dark ruler no more because that at least will force out a negate, free gamma seal in case we need to drop a turtle on it, and free Nibiru in case we need to just say no to our opponent's board. And yeah, that's the deck. So if you're new here, we just go over a replay or two. I show you what I liked about the deck, what I didn't like, what I think went well, what I think didn't go well, and just sort of the combos, strengths, and weaknesses there are for this. But yeah, all that being said, I'll see you all in the first replay. Alright, so welcome to our replay with Quinn. We are Tab as per usual, and our opponent is playing Thunder Dragon, so go ahead and be nice to Quinn, okay? He's trying to play Thunder Dragons. He still wants to do it, okay? Be nice to Quinn. But yeah, so let's go and get right into it. Our opponent will be going first, which is fine for us because we prefer to go second. And here I will be showing you the Obligado play for the Triskelion. So our opponent will be going first. Going to go ahead and summon the Battery Man Solar, attempting to send something. So we're going to say no to that real quick. So our opponent is then going to go ahead and use the Thunder Dragon Egg in order to put something in the graveyard for the banish effect of the Thunder Dragon Lord, banishing the Dragon Hawk from hand to summon the Thunder Lord as well. Solar is going to be negated, but he is going to get the Hawk effect to go ahead and search a Wyver Burster, which is pretty good for him. And 1 second, I think sound effects are a little loud on my end. That should be better. And then he's going to pass turn, go ahead and send the Dragon Dark. And then it is on to us, and we are going to go ahead and activate the Lightning Storm, and he is going to target the Dragon Lord itself with its effect, so it will not be destroyed by battle. And he's going to get some searches, which is unfortunate for us, but is fine. Then we are going to activate our Meklord Assembly for the Rhoda effect. Go ahead and search our Triskelion. And from there, we're going to summon Obligado, go into Army of Weissel and Granel. Then Obligado effect is not going to proc because why would it? Then we're going to make the Cliffort Genius, and we are going to banish our things to go ahead and summon our Triskelion, and from there we can go right into the battle phase. So first we attack with Triskelion, stealing his 1 Boral Sword Dragon, so we don't have to risk that monster. He also did have a Vert Anaconda, which I probably should have stolen that one instead, honestly. It was a really hard call for me to make, but yeah, no. I feel like Boral Sword was also fine. I figured it'd be fine because he'd already had the Thunder Dragon Fusion, so it's And then we're going to attack directly and pass turn, and then we're going to go ahead and get the burn effect for 100 burn. So that's a big play, and that's basically sort of like the deck doing its best thing. You know, you get Triskelion on the field, you get, like, pops, you maybe get, like, a Link monster, you steal things from the extra deck, like, that's kind of what the deck does. But let's go and get right into our opponent, who is about to, be scary, so he's going to go ahead and use Titan to go ahead and pop our Triskelion, because it doesn't protect itself, worth a damn. And then he's going to just go ahead and battle phase, attack over a Genius, attack with the Collapse Serpent. And then it's back to us, and we get the Pot of Extravagance, which is pretty good, so we banish 6, draw 2. Unfortunately, we can't use the Lightning Storm because we do control a card. But we're going to go ahead and summon our Meklord Army of Granel to cut the Thunder Dragon Titan in half. And then we'll use Assembly's effect, discarding the Lightning Storm, popping it. Because we have the Weissel in hand, we are able to summon it. And from there, we are able to just attack over the Titan, which is pretty nice, and we're in a solid position with a spell negate as well as a Ash Blossom. So we're going to negate that, then he's going to unfortunately make the Vert Anaconda to go ahead and make another Titan, and we cannot avoid it this time because that's counted as its effect. Then he's going to go ahead and pop our Weissel and just summon the Thunder Dragon, attack for game. And I really feel like this replay shows sort of the best and worst of this deck, because on one hand, it's fairly good at sort of attacking over big monsters and cutting them down a little bit, as well as gaining information and getting your Triskalia onto the field, as well as a good bit of recovery play, actually, so it can come back from a beatdown. The issue is it is forced to receive that beatdown, and unless you're going for like Weissel Turbo, you really don't have a first turn play with this deck. But yeah, so all in all, honestly, it's a pretty cool deck. It's solid, its plays are consistent, and it understands what it wants to do, and it really works to do that well. The only real problem with it is that it is just, it's not great. The monsters don't protect themselves. You usually end on fairly unimpressive boards, and unless you're going for a OTK build, you're really not going to be getting much bang for your buck on this one. But yeah. Let me know what you think of the deck. Is there anything I can improve? Anything that I did well? Things on that. As well as, is there any decks you guys want me to play? Because I'll happily take requests. I am currently do have like the next week or two planned out for what I'm going to do, so I might not be able to get to it immediately. But yeah, no, I'm always happy to hear from you guys. And, check out social media stuff. I don't really post much down there, but at least it will tell you when I put up videos. So, yeah, all that being said, like if you liked, comment if you have something to say, and subscribe if you want some more. This has been Ronin, signing off.